Making hiring mistakes is par for course as a leader. However, there are things that you can do to reduce that. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to select the right employee from all of the candidates that you have applied to your job. Last week, we talked about how to attract the right people into your world. This is part of a 4-part series. And this week, we're going to talk about how to select the right person after they have applied to your job. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Sadaf Sheikh, and every week I come and help you with how to build and nurture your high performance culture. If you are new, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hitting the subscribe button below, and make sure you hit the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about how to select the right person from those wonderful applicants that you attracted to your world from last week. Now, there are 3 things that you need to keep in mind as you go through the selection process. Number 1, who is going to make the final hiring decision? Number 2, how are you going to ensure the suitability of your final candidate to become a future employee of yours? And number 3, we're going to talk about what tool you're going to use to make this whole process way easier. I'm going to go a little bit out of order here, and I'm going to talk about the tool first. And the reason for that is because the tool that you use is going to ensure that the whole recruitment process stays as organized as possible. Now, the whole point of this entire video series that I'm doing is to make your life easier and to streamline some of your processes. So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about an applicant tracking system. Now, I created a whole video around the best applicant tracking systems for small businesses that are out there in the marketplace right now. So I encourage you to check that out. You can find it here and in the description below. But also, I think that it's important to invest in an applicant tracking system because, as I mentioned, not only does it keep you organized, but it also then allows you to keep your pool of candidates and the notes that you have associated with them all in one place, so that in the event you either have another position that comes open where you can call on the same candidates, or if you have a vacancy in a completely different area, but there are transferable skills. Having that database of applicants and a database that belongs to you effectively so that you're not starting from scratch every single time is another key benefit of having an applicant tracking system. So my favorite applicant tracking system right now is Breezy. And the reason for that is because it is extremely intuitive to use. I have had clients to use it with some great success. And this is the best part, it starts off at $0. So yeah, at $0, you're not going to get the bells and whistles of like a full complete solution. But even in their paid plans, it's very reasonable compared to what you would pay to an agency. And I cannot tell you how effectively it streamlines everything and cuts down the time to hire. Okay, so with that out of the way, I want to now talk about the next key thing, and that's who is going to make the final hiring decision. Now, if you're like most small business CEOs that I know, chances are the final decision is typically made by you. Now, I want to just highlight why this is something that you perhaps may want to revisit. And the reason I say this is because typically the person who should be making the final decision on who you end up hiring should be that person's direct manager, the person that they're going to be working with most closely on a day-to-day basis. Now, if that happens to be you, that's fine. Of course, then you would be the final decision maker. But if that's not you and you're talking about someone who's a very junior employee, I would challenge you to give up that part of your accountability, shall we say, and give it to the person who's actually going to be working with them every single day. I cannot tell you how many times, small business CEOs will say, oh, that person didn't work out because there was a personality clash, or their work styles are so different. You don't want that to happen because you inserted yourself in the process and you didn't actually give accountability and responsibility to the person where it made most sense. Okay, so now you have your tool in place, you have the decision maker in place. Finally, I want to talk to you about how you will assess the suitability of your final employee. This is the real crux of how to select your final candidate. Now, most people rely on interviews as like the key decider, the key thing, the key criteria that they use. Here's the issue with interviews alone, is that when you're talking to someone, it's very easy for them to say whatever they want to say. Now, I'm saying I also believe in the goodness of humanity, and I do believe that most people do speak the truth. However, you know this, that there are plenty of others who will be more than happy to embellish the truth. You know, if you say to them, have you worked with X software? If they have been in an organization that has used that software, chances are they're probably going to say something like, oh yeah, I've used the software. Meanwhile, they haven't actually ever used the software. They've simply seen other people using the software. And so that's called embellishing the truth. That's not to say that interviews don't have a place. They absolutely do. And in fact, I have a PDF of the top 10 interview questions you can ask candidates to assess the cultural fit. Interviews are important, and the questions that you ask are equally important. So make sure you grab a copy. The link is in the description below. The other thing I'm going to say about interviews is that don't have 8,000 of them. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but many organizations have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interviews for a fairly mid-level or junior position. That's just not necessary, because not only does the candidate get interview fatigue, but also there's a diminishing return in the number of interviews that you do versus the actual information or data that you get back from the candidate. So I say limit your interviews to no more than 2, at the very maximum 3, but I really don't think there's a reason for you to go that far either. One thing that I recommend my clients do is incorporate assessments as part of your interview process. So what are assessments? Assessments are simply what you would call tests. So these could be any number of different types of tests. They could be verbal, presentation skills. You could test for a proficiency with a certain software. So instead of asking someone, have you used this tool or this software? Give it to them. Share your screen and tell them to navigate how they're going to do a certain task or do a sequence of things on that software. That's the best way to assess whether they actually know how to do it or not. You could also assess for personality, though that's a bit iffy. You could assess for things like written skills. You could assess for analytical skills, math skills, all kinds of things. I did a whole video around this and some of the different assessments that you could use, so make sure you check it out. Link will be in the description below. But do try and incorporate at least 1 or 2 different types of assessments so that you can see how that candidate works and will it fit with the way you do work in your company. Now, I talk about all of this in a whole lot more detail in my signature program, High Performance Culture Academy. So make sure that you check it out. The link is in the description below to book a call with us if you want to know more about the program and to see if it will be the right fit for you. And I want you to comment below which of these 3 things really resonated with you the most. Was it, you know, the putting a tool in place to make your recruitment process more organized? Was it, you know, actually deciding who the hiring manager would be and make sure that it's not the CEO of the small company? Or number 3, to to cut down the number of interviews that you have and increase the number of assessments that you give to your candidates. Let me know which one resonated in the comment below. Next week is our final video in this 4-part series, and it's going to be all about how to track your employees' performance once you get them on board, so that you can have them not only delivering from day 1, but exceeding expectations every single day after that. So make sure you tune in next week. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, do that and put the bell notification on so that you will be notified when I post the next video. But also, if you like this video and you found value from it, please hit the like button below. It just pushes it out to more people. If you feel like you can share this video, feel free to share it with your colleagues as well. And you can check out these videos here just to get a little bit more around assessments and a whole playlist around interviewing and recruitment in general. All right, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Bye.